Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of Jean Grey from X Factor. I think she wasn't going by Marvel Girl or anything at the time. I think she was newly resurrected, or not resurrected, but newly woken up. Turns out she never died. That was the twist of X Factor, which was cool. We all got behind it, and we bought X Factor in big numbers. I imagine because it lasted for a long time. Of course, we just got X Factor Cyclops with the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave probably a few months ago. It was within, maybe it was 2024. It just took me forever to open it, and took me forever to get. So, because I was waiting for prices to drop. Anywho, getting it from Target was a pain. Mostly because I missed the pre-order, so I had to sort of keep checking in until it was in stock, and then I had to buy it real quick before it went out of stock again. But I got it! Yay! It was important to me to get it because I already have X Factor Cyclops. I'd love to have an X Factor Jean Grey to pair it with, and now I do. So this comes in the retro Marvel Legends X-Men card. The retro card has been very popular lately. They've released a lot of things in that, like the Secret Wars wave, the Spider-Man wave. Just a lot of different things have come out just in the retro card, and I don't know what the rationale is, but I imagine that for Target exclusives and things like that, you're not building toward a wave, you're not building toward anything. So if you release a Rogue and a Gambit, for example, it's not part of a wave, you throw them on a card, and that's awesome. You do the X-Men 97, and X-Men 97 is already nostalgic, it's already retro, you put it on the retro card. That makes sense. Of course, that was a wave. It sort of breaks my rule. There were 2 waves of X-Men 97, which was really cool. I mean, to be fair, they had all of the molds and everything else, and they just had to get a little bit brighter paint and maybe get a new portrait or something, but they didn't really do a whole lot to I don't want to say do something. I don't want to disparage it and say they didn't really do a ton of work to put those back out, but they're essentially repaints. I just don't want to be a jerk about it. Let's take a closer look at the package. If you are trying to figure out how to say telekinesis in different languages, this is the card for you. Has a nice, I'm assuming that's a David Nakayama portrait. The Uncanny X-Men has been lucky enough to have David Nakayama portraits as part of this. Really cool picture of what she can do. Of course, should have had the, I guess the power is used just with her hair and not with this part. So this effect must hook into her hair, or maybe underneath that strand of hair or something. Maybe this is showing you, stick this under the strand of hair and that good stuff. That's one of the things that, one of the only things I complain about on these is if they have something like Husk had the skin stuff that you could peel off, is it would have been nice to have kind of instruction thing that says, hey, put this in this and then do it that way and you can recreate this. But of course, a multilingual card over here, and the Uncanny X-Men up top, which is fine. Everything is part of the X-Men family. That's a mutant, so I don't object to, even though this is X Factor Jean Grey, that Uncanny X-Men is all over it. I think that's fine. I do like, it's a nice touch to have the original X-Men in the corner box. Angel is missing. It would have been cool to have Angel in the Jean Grey corner, so that all 5 of the originals were represented on the card. She has I don't know what the periods were. I think she debuted in the face, sort of the face helmet mask thing, or cowl. Should I call that a cowl? She debuted in the cowl, I think. And then, of course, she graduated, or didn't graduate, but decided, no, I'm gonna wear this one instead. That's what I'm gonna do. So you have options with how you can display her. Of course, most people are wanting the red and yellow, and that's kind of cool for kind of a Jean Grey sort of Dark Phoenix kind of later incarnation of Jean Grey sort of look. That is super cool. But that is Jean Grey on the card. I'm excited to open her up and take a look at her. Sorry about the denting. The Target isn't super good at packaging, and to be fair, I was always going to open her, so it didn't really matter. So I never complained about it. So, anywho, it looks great in the package. Let's take it out and see what we think about it. And now that she's out of the package, along with X Factor Cyclops from the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave, let's take a closer look at Jean Grey. Of course, I just love to pair these guys off. It's cool that we got two X Factor sort of uniforms at the same time. You usually, that stuff trickles out. I mean, even between Monet and Husk and Chamber, we had to wait quite a while for Generation X to be filled in, and we're still missing characters from that. But you have enough now to make, I think, maybe Beast wore an X uniform. I don't think, maybe Angel did too. Rats, I would have to look. But, of course, this is the head that it came with, the fully cowled look with the hair coming out of the back of it. I like it, the determined look, but there is no place to put the TK effect on her here. I'll show you why in a minute, but she also comes with, in addition to the two gesturing hands, she came with the fists for punching. And the two fists were on her originally. I took them off and swapped them so that I could have her sort of deflecting Cyclops' blast, which is the picture that you clicked on to get here in the first place. Probably. Maybe. Anywho, this is with the TK effect on, and what happens is there's sort of a stray TK effect. You just tuck that behind the loose strand of hair, and that's how that stays in. But there isn't any sort of peg or anything that you place in, and it would look terrible if there was. But I don't know how you would exactly do that with Jean Grey. I'm not sure, but the head should maybe come with it. Well, if you had a TK effect that was glued to it or something, somebody might go, well, I wish it didn't have that, because I wish it just had the determined look. But the smiley look, the friendly look, is the one that gets the TK effect, which is a little weird, but I'm okay with it. The only thing that I don't like maybe about the paint job is that sometimes on the legs the paint seems very sharp, but on the torso it seems a little milky, like it's not quite as sharp. It's still, I can't complain about the paint. It's just that it's a little bit deeper of a yellow on the hips and on the thighs, and it's a muted sort of yellow, which makes it look a little indistinct, which it may be unfair, but it looks a little blurry to me. Looks like it's not as defined, but that's maybe unfair because it's just as sharp. So is Cyclops. It's just on Cyclops. It's really the deep yellow all the way throughout, so it looks a little more distinct maybe with the blue background. I'm not exactly sure why that middle part of the X looks a little milky to me, and I don't know how you would define milky, but the expression is just kind of it's sort of weird. It's smiley. Keep in mind that she's coming. I don't know how when she wears this cowl, maybe she's all healed up from being locked in a chrysalis for a couple years. But see Fantastic Four for more details. So anyway, this is Jean Grey from X Factor. It's a figure that you have to get. I think that there hasn't been a Cyclops, X Factor Cyclops, or Jean Grey from X Factor in a while. I don't know. I'm not going to say ever. I think that there was a time I wasn't collecting Marvel Legends, and it could have snuck out during those times. and maybe you guys have got those and you're really happy with them, and that's cool. But I haven't had this figure yet, so it's real cool. Would have been cool to have this without the mask and just the head, so that you could put it on other Jean Grey figures maybe. But I can't complain. The green and the yellow is really cool, and it's comic book accurate. I think to the very first cover, Baptism of Fire. I think that's all the research I did really was just to see if it was on the cover. And it is. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, am I absolutely sure it was? Or was it the red? I'm going to say it was this one. You can say in the comments below if that's correct or not. But I believe that it is. Anywho, it's a great figure to have if you find her at Target or she's available online. Go ahead and snag her, because she completes your, or not completes, but she's a big part of your X Factor collection, and she's very cool. She is Jean Grey. So until next time, enjoy your toys.